That's Bill, I'm Bob.
Welcome to the Bill and Bob Show. I was more interested in the engineering aspect because that's my background, and I found that marrying the engineering with the actual physically hands-on doing things, and then marrying it with quality control, I was really good at that. But later what I found was I was interested in, wow, what does this really look like? How does this make me feel? And that came later for me. I didn't feel the feeling to direct art until a lot later. Probably that was always in me, but I didn't steer myself that way. I was interested in that, where, you know, I did take art, and I did understand art, and I took photography, and I took all of these things, but I didn't go that way as far as a career. I've always kept them as a hobby. So theming for me was a fantastic way to use my physical make the thing ability and combine it with the artistic thing to some degree, and marrying the two things together, plus the stories. Stories are a major thing in the theme for me.
Yeah,
that's the most important thing to me.
It should be, you know. I mean, it gets lost sometimes by just creating a fancy environment that's amazing and spectacular. Some people only do that; they leave the story out. But the more enduring themes, the things that are more successful and that go a little bit longer in their lifespan for entertaining people, have a storyline to them. And so I was interested in the art and the story, and then that naturally led me to your aspect of it, which was how. How do you do that? How do you make that stuff? What do you make it out of? What kind of materials do you use? And you know, you can draw up pretty pictures and or cartoons or imagination. How do you make that stuff come into reality? And that's the art of theming, and it's not easy. You know, for an artist, for a storyteller to imagine a world or an environment the way it is in your head, write a story about it, scribble up some sketches about it, or even animate it. Nowadays you can do all kinds of 3D animation, and you can make fantastical things. And movies now, they can make incredible movies. How do you take that and those images, that fun environment that's either from a different place or completely foreign, how do you turn that into reality? Your expertise was the actual creation, what materials to use, how to make it work.
So from
structurally, how did it have to do that?
Yes, your dream was my nightmare.
Imagine things is a wonderful thing, but you got to put them on a leash, and that's a little bit of the practical side of theming. You can imagine amazing, wonderful floating mountains, but you can't really build a floating mountain because there's this thing we call gravity, and it won't let you. You know, so like in the movie Avatar, they have these beautiful floating mountains. You know, and then Disney went and built a section of their thing. They couldn't float a mountain. They had to structurally support it somehow to give that illusion. So how do you make a restaurant in Podunk, Idaho look like an Italian restaurant? You went to your company and you bought columns and capitals and cornice pieces and Italian-looking architecture, and you put it in there.
Yeah, well, those are themes that have been around for forever, because you've got a Roman, you've got a Egyptian, you've got a Greek, you've got different themes of architecture. Moving on with the newer types of things, where in manufacturing now we're not only making architectural elements, we're producing characters and animatronics, and we're creating amazing things that are kind of out of the realm of architecture, where they're more sculptural, and the how-to and the materials are constantly changing.